Hello! This video I'm going to show the setup for our lesson this week. Basically, I created a little bit of an top-down RPG using some sprites that I found online and setting up a movement system for the character. So I'll just play it really fast. You're a character, you can walk around, you can go through the doors but not through the walls. There's a locked door here with your horse. You can go outside, and the camera kind of follows you, but there is a limit on how far you can go. Notice how the camera goes, but then kind of stops. So let's go through how I set this up. So we have the player, just to start off with. There are two scripts on the player right now. So there's one that is the character control script, which is talking about the speed and then what sprites are being shown, and then there's the camera follow script. Those scripts, if we look at them, so the character control system, basically we are moving the character using the rigid body. So I've created horizontal and vertical variables, and we're setting them to the raw value of the horizontal and vertical axes. If you say get axis raw as opposed to get axis raw will give you only 0, -1, and 1. And get axis will kind of give you a float value that goes from 0 to -1. And then when you let go, it kind of slowly goes back to 0. So you get a little bit of sliding. I didn't want any sliding. I wanted it to either go or not go. So I used the raw value. And then I used the normalized value to do the velocity, so that if I'm going at if I'm going diagonally, I'm not going like twice as fast, which can happen if you don't use the normalized one. So, and then just depending on which keys I have pressed, I am showing different sprites. And I'm using the fixed update to move the rigid body position. The fixed update is where we want to do our physics stuff. So for moving the rigid body, this is where we want to do it. Okay, and then on our camera follow script, I'm essentially taking the camera, the main camera, just the main camera of the scene, and I'm saying set it equal to the position of the player, and then I've set some minimum and maximum values, which I basically just had to like eyeball based on the map. So I kind of tested to see how far left and right it would go before it went off screen, and I put those values in. So if it goes too far to the left or right, it just sets it back to this minimum or maximum value. And that's where we get that really nice like camera kind of panning and following. The other setup that I did was on the placing all of the assets on the screen. So you'll notice that the character has a circle collider that is a little bit down on the body. It's like only covering the bottom half of the body, so that if they go up to the wall, it kind of overlaps with the wall. I think it looks a little bit better. And the map itself has a bunch of colliders on it. So I used edge colliders to outline the walls. So I have one that is kind of this whole outside, and then I have another one that's here, 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 just to make the walls but leaving gaps for the door. So I used edge colliders, and then I use the edge radius to kind of increase or decrease how thick they are. And then I have a bunch of circle colliders around other elements in the environment. I didn't do everything, but I did a lot of it. And then I have just placed other elements into the scene. So there's a carrot and a horse in the stable that's behind the padlock. Notice how the padlock is kind of blocking the whole door, and then there's a key here. And so what we want to do is basically set up a scene where the horse is really hungry and you have to feed it before it dies, but first you have to get into the room. So you have to collect both the key and the carrot in order to save your horse. And depending on which order you do things, you get different messages and different kind of things that are going on. So let's go into how to do that.